What's going on, y'all? My name's Joltage, and today, bringing you yet another LC game from week 2, this time between OP of the Tigers and ZF of the Falcons, who even put his name in his team in his name, just so I don't forget. How nice of him. But anyway, this is going to be our penultimate match of the week, and I believe both players are... Shit, I don't remember. OP definitely lost. And I don't remember what ZF did. Who'd ZF even play? Yeah, I need to start paying more attention or some shit. But anyway, looking at the teams, we've got some dark spam over on ops side with 3 dark types in Poniard, Vullaby, and Grimer, as well as Fungus and Mudbray making its second SPL game. And over on ZF side, it's looks like a pretty standard ZF comp. Anyway, first turn we've got Onyx versus Fungus. Onyx is going to set the rocks. Fungus is just going to opt right for the spore. So Onyx is obviously going to be forced out here. Also keeps some sleep fodder for ZF. And ZF would likely be going into his own Fungus there, as it's really the best thing to take on Fungus. ZF's team doesn't deal with Fungus incredibly well, looking at it. Perhaps a Snivy is HP Fire or something, but who knows? Anyway, OP's gonna predict that, I suppose, and also switch out to Pawn, but doesn't exactly like that. Is going to go to his Vullaby. Vullaby does prove to be overcoat, as it is not affected by the spore, and OP's definitely in the driver's seat here. I think this is a pretty free U-turn for him as well, as ZF goes out to Staryu, who is going to get knocked off. That's also a fair play. Staryu lost its Eviolite, so you know it wasn't a life form variant, though you still have to be wary of the Ice Beam, which it is likely running. I don't know if it would take out Vullaby from this amount of HP, though. Vullaby is pretty bulky, but at the same time, I don't see why OP would want to have this take it. No, it's not like anything really wants to come in on an Ice Beam. I mean, Poniard can, but I mean, it's still outsped, and Scald will hurt, or Hydro. So we'll see what's going on. Looking at it, Abra's really threatening, as it just kind of kills everything on ZF's team, except maybe the Magnemite. Though Magnemite... Except maybe the Magnemite except maybe the Magnemite with Psychic, but you have HP Fighting, which can take out Magnemite. Abra's really scary. Yeah. ZF perhaps predicting the switch to ops to recover there with this Staryu, as OP's going to go right for the Brave Bird, get a crit, and take down the Staryu. That crit probably did matter, though that was doing some big damage no matter what, but that's always unfortunate. Out comes the Magnemite, who obviously threatens out the Vullaby, though OP does have a Mudbray to switch into, so you can expect the Flash Cannon probably out of ZF, but no, he goes right for the Volt Switch. Not expecting OP to go for the Mudbray play, and he's going to be able to switch out. I don't know what he'd want to go into, though, as... yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Perhaps the Snivy, I'm thinking. Snivy at least doesn't necessarily bring in Abra. It probably brings in Grimer, which is another beast to deal with, but you don't really want Abra coming in right now. So I think Snivy probably the play. I think Timber technically could live if it's like max def and it's not Life Orb Abra. Though I don't think that set's as common this gen. He does decide to go Timber. So I do expect the Abra to come out. Though Mudbray also could come out. Just to try and get some chip damage so that Abra doesn't have to deal with a potential max def Timber. But we'll see what OP decides to do. He could also... I don't see what he necessarily gains from going Fungus, but I mean, Fungus also is a theoretical stop to Timber, though Timber has been running Ice Punch a lot more this gen, so it is less so. Actually, Ice Punch also kind of threatens Mudbray, so we'll see. Mudbray's stamina will keep that generally pretty solid against the Timber. OP's taking his time though, probably calcing some stuff. I expect the Abra to be Sash though. Life Orb is still a very strong set. I mean, it is very much a nuke, and you don't see the fatter special walls as much these days, like your Spritzies, as you would like last gen. But Sash is so good for just being that safety net that I would be surprised if it wasn't Sash. But anyway, out comes Alolan Grimer, likely gonna fire off a knockoff here, and not much wants to eat that. If Onyx wasn't asleep, that could definitely come in right now, but it being asleep hasn't used up a sleep turn. It's less than ideal. Timber's just going to go for the Drain Punch, do some good damage, and eat the knockoff. Now it's definitely not surviving anything Abra's going to be throwing at it, which would likely be a Psychic. So it's probably less than ideal. I think OP can fire off a Poison Jab / Gunk Shot pretty freely here. I would say keep this for Snivy, but I don't think he needs to worry about Snivy that much. He still does have the Abra, of course, and the Poniard, which could potentially outspeed, depending on what hidden power Snivy's running. If it's running HP Fire, they could technically speed tie, or Poniard might just outright outspeed. We'll see what the Snivy set is. I assume most people run the Eviolite set, though I'm personally even more partial to the Berry Juice set. But actually, Snivy's kind of annoying. But nope. He's just gonna go for another knockoff, as ZF is gonna go for the Drain Punch and get poisoned. That's unfortunate. Timber doesn't run Guts as much this gen anymore, so it's not like he even got a power boost from that. If I'm OP here, I definitely go Abra and kill something. I think Abra in killing something is a fine play here. It's not like ZF has like a pursuit thing next turn, and no, he decides to go Mudbray. Wonder what he's saving the Abra for. I mean, Abra, obviously, I guess he doesn't want Abra's Sash to be broken potentially, but he goes Mudbray and fires off an Earthquake, as ZF's gonna go out to the Snivy, who's going to threaten out the Mudbray. I don't know if Snivy took that better than I expect or not. It just kind of seems like I don't know what the Snivy set is based on that damage roll. But ZF's going to double out to Fungus as OP himself is going to go to Fungus. Fungus is going to win the speed tie on the Sludge Bomb, both doing 28% to each other. ZF's slightly ahead due to not coming in on rocks. OP going to win another speed tie, bring ZF down once more, and if this keeps up, ZF's going to lose this one. Both players, well, at least OP also. Damn, 3 wins in a row. At that point, you have to start assuming that OP's running a fast Fungus or some shit. But ZF should probably switch out as he does into his Magnemite. OP reads that, goes right to his Mudbray. And is going to be able to fire off an Earthquake or a Heavy Slam if he so desires, predicting the Snivy. Though it might also not have Heavy Slam. It could be a Restock Mudbray. That's also a very solid set. But ZF's obviously not going to want to stay in. A Magnemite is his main answer for Abra, who otherwise just rolls his team. So yeah, I expect probably the Earthquake actually. But no, double out to Poniard as ZF goes Snivy. Potentially Snivy outspeeds, but it doesn't kill a Poniard from that level of HP. Pon could also be Scarfed. Yeah, that could make sense. Pon could also be Scarfed on this team. Either way, Snivy doesn't kill from this level of HP. ZF could go Timber on the assumed Iron Head or Knockoff, but then would be forced into a Mach Punch. And either way, OP has a very solid safe switch in Fungus. OP taking his time, thinking about what to do. I feel like it might be a Scarf Pond. Does go for the knockoff. Fungus comes in. Takes it okay, but is going to go down this next turn to it. And I guess ZF is just sacking this off. And is likely going to go out to his Timber, as he does. Timber won't die to a knockoff, obviously. It already was knocked off, and it resists. So it can fire off a knockoff of its own, perhaps, or a Drain Punch, or maybe an Ice Punch, predicting the Fungus. Ice Punch would probably get him the most in the long run, looking at it. It's a hard game for ZF to win, but I think it is still winnable for him. Yeah, I kind of want to see an Ice Punch out of ZF this turn. At least a knockoff. Now, probably knockoff. Knockoff, and then you can Ice Punch next turn. I think probably the best play. Because if this is Scarf Pond, which I kind of expect it to be. Oh, it might not be. Because you have the Grimer that can Pursuit, and that's typically what Scarf Pond is used for. I don't know. Either way, OP is going to switch out to his Mudbray, who's going to eat the Mach Punch. Does a crit for some very respectable damage, but I don't think this Ice Punch will be taking it out this turn. I would have preferred, if you were going to go for the fighting move, I would have preferred the Drain Punch there. Just to keep yourself topped up a little bit more. Maybe he was going for the Mach Punch just because Ironhead, I think Ironhead may have killed from there, in case it wasn't a Scarf Pawn, or in case he just decided to go for that play. But in comes Snivy once again on the Earthquake. Not going to be Berry Juice Snivy. So Snivy could go for the Synthesis here, could go for a Glare possibly. OP's timer is quite low, actually, looking at it. He only has 30 seconds to make his moves, despite being in the driver's seat. 20 seconds. Out comes Pawn, as Snivy's going to go right for the Leaf Storm. Not going to do a lot. Definitely not a Scarf Pawn. Snivy may outspeed depending on the hidden power. As I've said previously, my favorite hidden power to run is Fire, which makes me slower than Pawniard, because I run a 15 speed Snivy whenever I run it, usually. With hidden power, I usually run 15 speed. But if Snivy does outspeed, this can be a nice Sucker Punch mind game for ZF to potentially play with. However, even if he wins it, Abra can always revenge with the Psychic, I think. Wins the Sucker Punch mind game. Goes right for the Leaf Storm, takes it out. In comes Abra, like I said. OP can't really afford to do anything but Psychic, I don't think. I don't think anything but Psychic takes out Snivy here. Could be wrong, of course. But I think ZF goes to his Onyx here. Yeah. I think ZF goes to his Onyx to sack that off, potentially. Yeah, if I'm ZF, I think I go and sack my Onyx here. It's not like you can sack it one turn, but I go Onyx here, sack that, and then go right for the Flash Cannon with my Magnemite next turn. Yeah, I think that has to be the play for ZF here. And the game suddenly got a lot closer. I wasn't liking ZF's. I wasn't liking the way the game was looking for ZF for a lot of this game, but suddenly it feels like momentum has swung for him. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be. I definitely think you go Onyx here. But he's taking his time, calculating stuff. 60 seconds left. OP has made up his mind. I assume he's going right for the Psychic. Don't really see any other reason to do anything else. It's not like HP Fight takes out Snivy from here. And that would be the only real thing you'd otherwise think of, in case ZF wanted to go like Magnemite for whatever reason. But I think that'd be just an unnecessary play on ZF's part. So Psychic has to be the play for OP. ZF instead sacks his Timber. I don't think that was the play. I thought Onyx was gonna be the play. Maybe ZF thinks his Onyx is more important than that, but I definitely was expecting the Onyx there. But anyway, Magnemite's in. And I think you have to go for the Flash Cannon here, just because of the Mudbray. What is Mudbray at, by the way? Mudbray is 52%, so we'll be 2-hit KO'd. I don't think it'll be, but it won't be O-code. OP could always go to his Fungus, though. No, goes for the Volt Switch, knowing you won't go into the Abra. That's fine. Now do you sack off the Onyx? I think you have to. I'm really surprised ZF opted to sack the Timber there. The priority was super useful, if nothing else. HP Fire from the Abra. Huh, that's different. You don't usually see that. Oh, it's not like OP's team deals with Ferroseed particularly well. So it makes a bit more sense there. Wow, that was dumb. But yeah, in is the Onyx here. We'll see if OP, like ZF's probably sacking this off. We'll see if OP decides to use this as an opportunity to potentially get more HP on his Fungus. I probably would. ZF has to have Onyx sleep for a turn here. So, yeah, I think going Fungus here is probably OP's best play. Both of these players are letting the timer run down a lot. But no, OP decides to go for the Psychic. And out comes Magnemite, who can just fire off a Flash Cannon and take out the Abra. As it does so. I think Mudbray lives. Especially if it's Eviolite Mudbray, which I believe it is. But either way, Fungus definitely lives. It's going to be able to fire off a Spore. Or an HP Fight. Or even a Giga Drain. But I think Spore's probably the play that's going to come out. Flash Cannon does a lot more than I expected. And the Spore does come out. Out comes Mudbray for OP. As ZF uses a sleep turn. I wonder what a hidden power the Snivy is. It's not fire. Or if it is, it's sped tied with the Poniard. Could be flying. Could be ice. And those would be very good for it. It could be also be something like ground. I think rock I've seen as well. I'm not sure which of those actually lower the speed IV. Because that's the thing about Snivy. You can only hit 17 speed if you run an HP hidden power with that doesn't lower your speed IV, because lowering your speed IV by even one removes your ability to hit 17 speed. It's really unfortunate. Oh, the first turn wake for the Magnemite. Mudbray proves to be rest talk, goes for the rest. It's probably the safest play there. And ZF can go Snivy here, right? Not killed by an Earthquake. Doubt it's killed by a... Oh, it is Heavy Slam. That wouldn't have been good. But no. Okay. So ZF's going to win this game. Huh. Okay. Yeah, ZF wins that game. I didn't see that coming, I'm going to be honest. But it worked out for him. Huh. That game was weird. Kinda don't like how OP used his Abra. It was super threatening, but he didn't really use it a lot. I mean, it killed a lot of things, I guess. Huh. Weird game. Close one. But it was just kind of weird. It's hard to read, for me, at least. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed, please feel free to leave a like, comment with any feedback you have, and stay subscribed for more competitive LC content, including every single SPL game this season. I'll be back tomorrow night with the replay of the Madoka Sken game. Unfortunately, I won't be able to catch that one live, but yeah, you'll get the replay from that tomorrow. But yeah, until next time, my name is Joltage, and bye-bye.